Welcome to How to Become a Hypnotherapist and Past Life Regressionist. And I'm Mary Lee LeBay, and I'm a trainer. I've been in practice over 25 years, been training for 23 years or more. Actually, past life regression, I was doing some training probably 30 years ago, teaching people how to do this. So over the years, I've honed my skills and created a lot of programs and techniques and specific ways of working. And I've just found out recently, because I've written some books on hypnotherapy and on past life regression, it turns out that a lot of other trainers, of course, are using my books, but they're teaching my methods. So it's interesting. I guess I can feel complimented that they are interested in copying what I do. So, but here you can learn it right from me. So one of the things, or we have a few things to talk about today, and one is the requirements to be a hypnotherapist. And so interestingly enough, there are no set requirements. So you don't have to have a specific education. And for the trainings that I give, I start right at the basic foundational principles. So you don't have to have, excuse me, you don't have to have any other education to enter into this program. Now, a lot of people do. They go to other trainings, they, take courses here and there. And then they come to my class because a lot of times they feel like their other education hasn't been complete, or they feel like they still need more in order to really serve the needs of clients. And so the training that what I teach people to do, the skills and techniques and the concepts really encompass everything that I do in my practice and have done for decades. And so you don't need to go out and find a lot of other trainings to be able to set up your practice, to have really powerful, successful, long-lasting results. Of course, I encourage people, go and get other training, in addition, if you want, certainly even in other topics like Reiki and EFT and, a lot of the other techniques that you can employ within the hypnotherapy program. But I give you everything to, be able to work with your clients, to launch your practice, and to achieve success. So one of the questions that comes up really frequently is the difference between licensing and certification. A lot of people call themselves a licensed hypnotherapist, but in actuality, we're not licensed. If you are licensed, it means that you have taken a board exam. So people who are licensed are psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors, dentists, massage therapists, acupuncturists, people that get an education and then go on to take a board exam. We don't do that. To be a hypnotist or a hypnotherapist, you really don't need any training at all. You can just start practicing. I don't recommend it, but that's about how little regulation it has. Now, in certain states, they have, each state will have their own regulations. So, so some states have nothing at all. For instance, California, my understanding, the last time I checked, you don't have to register, you don't have to do anything. You can even call yourself a psychotherapist if you're practicing hypnotherapy. In the state of Washington, where I reside and where I've given all my trainings, so I know a lot more about that, you do have to be registered with the Department of Health. It's a very simple process that simply involves applying and paying a fee. They do a background check on you to make sure that you're a safe person to be working with people who might hire you. and then you become registered and you renew that every year. So we don't get licensed. In certain states, we do get registered, and then the certification process is what you would do when you come to my course or other courses who offer certification. And that is, again, not regulated. Because, being certified doesn't mean, doesn't indicate that you have learned certain things. It just means that somebody has given you the qualification as being certified. So when you're shopping around for your education, you really want to compare apples to apples. You're going to look for somebody who can certify you because, well, there's a couple of reasons you do want to be certified. One is the public can have more confidence in your skills. It just means you're certified. Of course, they don't know what it is you've learned or how you practice. That's up to the consumer to check out. But if you get liability, professional liability insurance, which I do recommend, they will require that you are a member of one of the national organizations, such as the NGH. And so you would need to take a course that is a minimum of 100 hours in order to be qualified to be a professional member of the National Guild of Hypnotists, the NGH. And then as a member, you can get your liability insurance. So there's a few steps to take, but it's really simple. In my training, I walk you through all of that. And of course, we answer all the questions. Those are just simple things. The other thing you would need to do to set up your practice is to have a business license. So in your state or city or county, however that's regulated, you would want to take out a business license. And so, you just want to make sure all your T's are crossed and I's are dotted. So that's the difference there. So choosing the best education, of course, I think I give one of the most complete educations out there. I've researched a lot of trainings because as I developed my own training, I wanted to see what other people were offering and at what price and all of that. And a lot of trainings will teach you how to put a person into trance. They spend a lot of time on things like statistics and history of hypnosis, that sort of thing. And then they'll teach you one or two techniques, maybe regression to cause, probably, maybe parts therapy, maybe a few other things. Some of the other courses may be a lot more complete. I don't know. And as more and more people are reading my books, those trainers are using my books in their courses. So they're probably offering more of the techniques now as well. But in my training, I take the complete hypnotherapy training that includes the what I call the hypnotic envelope, which is taking a person into trance and bringing them out. And there's a lot more steps than that, but it's taking them in and bringing them out. And then in the creamy center of this envelope is where we put all the techniques that are going to allow you to do the healing work or the self-discovery work or past life regression, whatever it is that you're trying to get results for their issues or for their concerns or desires. So I take the whole course, and that's all included. We have at least a dozen NLP techniques that allow for all that healing, and there's a lot included. So then I have married that together with my past life regression course, which is a full and complete past life course, which other trainers would separate out and have as a separate course. Again, those, many of those trainers are using my books as the textbook, because the work that I've done in combining the past life regression with the hypnotherapy techniques is unique. It was unique when I created that. Now I'm understanding a lot of people are copying it, but that's okay. So, so you get the complete course, and this is based on over 35 years. Well, when was it? 80? Yeah, almost 40 some years of exploring my own past lives, guiding people through past life regression, and then studying the new physics concepts that support reincarnation, moving between aspects, and how this whole thing works. So you get a complete education in the concepts and the techniques of past life regression. The reason that I married these two together is I used to teach them separately when I was teaching at Bastyr University here in the Northwest. And what I was finding is that, you can do past life, or you can do hypnotherapy, and you can get really good results. But a lot of the core issues that people have, such as not knowing their purpose or addictions, unexplained pains, all of that, really stem from past life regression. So I felt that the people that were graduating from my hypnotherapy program were missing this whole other world that they really needed to be able to access to get the best results for their clients. And then I would teach the past life course, and we'd have the concepts and how to go into a past life. But those people were entirely missing all of the healing techniques that we can now apply within the past life session. So it just felt like either way I was giving an incomplete education. So they are now married together at one really low price, because easily you could spend over $3,000 for each of those courses, easily. And so right now, it's about that for both. The prices are going to be raised in 2024. I haven't raised them in 5 or 6 years, so it's time. But they are married together because I really want to support my students and graduates in getting the most successful results and getting, being a successful practitioner. It doesn't help if people go through the class and they just go, oh, I'm lost, or it's incomplete, I'm not getting good results. Then it doesn't do our industry any good. It doesn't reflect good back on me. And so I'm invested in my students, and we do have ongoing support. We have a Facebook page where there's just many levels of support that my graduates get, my students and graduates get, so that we can make sure the best, people are out there waiting for us to show up, right? Not everybody's going to be my client. Not everybody's going to be someone else's client. We need all these practitioners, and we need them to be doing a good job so that people can get the help that they need, especially in these stressful days now. So what can we do with a hypnotherapy certification? Well, of course, the most important thing is we can help a lot of people, right? We can get really awesome results. They can heal. They can do their self-discovery. They can figure out their purpose. They can, get over their addictions. A lot of really important work can be done. But meanwhile, as a practitioner, there are so many opportunities for you, because when you're self-employed, you can, the sky is the limit. I have a colleague, she invited me to go into business with her. And of course, I had a different path, but she was making over $5 million a year as a hypnotherapist, because she really knew how to market. and produce products and get out there. Now, she had some overhead there too, but that, just goes to show you that these things are possible if when you're self-employed, when you get to call the shots, and if you get out there and, are assertive and proactive in your business. So you can get on podcasts, you can write books, you can provide workshops, you can create products, you can name your own rates, and you'll never get fired. So, and what was interesting is, like, during COVID, a lot of people who required, in-person sessions had to go out of business. Massage therapists, chiropractors, a lot of those people. So they were coming to my classes because they knew that, and again, if we have another lockdown, which, I hear is in the offing, what are you going to do? So if you require to be in person, you don't have to do that anymore. All but one client since the beginning of 2020, all of my clients, except for one that I made an exception for, have been over Zoom. So I can work from anywhere in the world. You can see I'm in this beautiful location. Actually, that's a graphic. You can work from your vacation home. You can be traveling. You can be anywhere in the world and work and not have close contact with people in case of those issues. You can go on vacation anytime you want. So what I'd like to do, if the two of you would, because we have just two people with us today, would you like to experience a little hypnosis this morning? Because I could take you into, let's do it. That'll feel good and nice and relaxed. Okay. So I'm going to take you through a short hypnotic experience so that you can relax, and maybe you'll learn a few things about yourself. So go ahead and relax. And for our other audience, our online audience, go ahead and relax. Put down your pens and papers and everything. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. And take another nice deep breath in, drawing in energy from the universe. And breathing out, releasing any tension, letting your mind be like a clear blue sky, letting go. And imagine a ball of light at your feet, glistening and shining and radiating. And as that ball of light begins to move up along your body, it gathers up the perception and the sensations, leaving behind a completely relaxed body. Sorry. As it moves up across your legs and your lap, up across your torso, balancing your energies, opening your chakras. That ball of light moving up across your throat and right up into the third eye, allowing the third eye to expand and energize. The energy flowing through, connecting your conscious mind to your subconscious. That channel expanding. And as your third eye continues to expand and energize throughout this session, I invite you to imagine being in your favorite safe space, that place of relaxation, protection, and connection. And as you find yourself in your safe space now, exploring with the curiosity of a child, noticing what is there for you today. And as you explore, you discover that there is a gift that has been left there for you an object that brings you certain energies and characteristics that will be so powerful for you today, in our work here today, and in your life moving forward. And as you take this gift into your hands, noticing the texture, the weight, the shape, and notice how it affects you to hold this item, this object. And if it were a Harry Potter magical tool that you could wield, and it could give you certain powers and energy, how would you use this in your life? What capabilities does this object have for you? And can you imagine a situation in your life when you would use this object to your favor? And holding this gift, this object, as you find a place to meditate, relaxing, allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper. And as you continue to go deeper throughout this session, as I count from 3 to 1, allowing yourself to be teleported to a sacred healing space, a place of dense energy that is there just for your healing and growth. 3, 2, 1. And as you find yourself in this sacred healing space, again, exploring with the curiosity of a child, noticing what is there, noticing that dense energy that is supportive and encouraging. And once again, finding a place to be seated for a meditation. And you begin to meditate deeper and deeper. And as you do so, you notice or you envision a version of you standing in front of you. And this version of you is who you want to be, who you are striving to be. So maybe that version of you is just a little further down the timeline, or it's in a parallel universe, an alternative reality that is just as real as you are here. And as you envision that person, that version of you, just notice how they look, how they carry themselves, what their energy is like. And as I count from 3 to 1, I want you to imagine slipping out of your body and into that body, that new improved you, so that your feet are in their feet, your arms in their arms, and you're looking out at the world through their eyes and their energy field. 3, 2, 1. And notice how it feels to be in that new version of yourself. Notice the energy, the thoughts, Notice your attitudes. Notice what it feels like to move around in that physical body. And as I count from 3 to 1, stepping back into the prior version of you, 3, 2, 1. And as you move back into this former version, what do you notice this time about yourself? And often we find that when we're in our body so long, we just take on more stress, or, a lot of things just aren't apparent to us until we step out of it. So as you are in this former version of yourself again, just noticing what that's like. And as I count from 3 to 1, stepping into the new improved version once again, 3, 2, 1. And what do you notice this time as you move into that new version? The energy, the thoughts, the feelings. What are the possibilities that open up for you in this new version? And if you could look back at your former version and you had some wisdom to share with them from this new position, what would you want to share with your former self to encourage them to quickly become this new improved version? What do they need to know? And so I'm going to leave you in this new improved version today so that you can practice and become this new person even more quickly. So every morning when you wake up, take a moment to envision this new person. Make sure that you've stepped into this new improved version of yourself. Allow them to get you up and start your morning routine. Allow them to guide you throughout the day and make your choices. And at night, making sure you're in this new improved version so that they're in control as you go through your dream time. Practicing every day. And if at any point you feel like you've gone back to old ways of thinking or your old version, you can simply stop, envision the new version of yourself, step in, and carry on. There's no failure, it's just more information. So you just carry on. And so if you were to remain in this new improved version each and every moment of the future, how do you think the rest of today will be different than it would have been? And if you remain in this new improved version of yourself, how do you think the next week will be different than it would have been? What do you think you can accomplish? What will be different in your feelings and thoughts? And if you remain in this new, improved version of you, what do you think life will be like in a month from now? What will have changed? What will you have accomplished? So remembering all that you've experienced in this session and allowing the subconscious mind to continue to bring you insight, wisdom, and understanding in the days and weeks to come. As I count from 1 to 5, returning here to the present moment, refreshed, alert, and aware. 1, 2, 3, coming up. 4, aware of this time and space. And 5, fully alert and aware and returned here to the present moment. Nice. So, Patrick, oh, yes.
Hey.
um, how was that for you?
Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I love the compare and contrast.
Yeah.
From here to there and back, that was incredible.
Thank you.
I'd say that was amazing because I just want to write. I'm gonna write it all down soon before I forget it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I mean, I guess I won't forget it, right?
Nope. Because you're going to be practicing it. It's going to be you.
It blows my mind that the subconscious holds so much information, so much wisdom through that QHHT course. You know, we did several past life regressions. I really like this technique that you do because it's very simple. It's just to the point. It's very effective for me, at least.
Yeah.
I even played it for my wife one night before she was out, you know, just completely out. She didn't even come back, but she needed to sleep as well, you know. But anyway, what literally happens, like, you know, you'd made mention of several interesting things, and I don't want to just jump on a soapbox here, but you know, I know that when I close my eyes, I mean, I have my 5 senses, you know, call them 5 clairs, whatever you want to call them, and I rely on all this information, right? But there is, once I go through what, beta, alpha, get into theta, boom, I'm just in that lovely state, just riding that theta state, right? And but there's a transfer, and it's almost like my language, my internal language goes from first to third person, you know, like in that meditation. I say meditation, and correct me if it's not, you know, I consider it meditation, but in that, what we just did, I literally just, it switched. And it's like, Patrick could, you know, Patrick could make better use, and Patrick could let go of these things, and blah, 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 blah. And it's almost like a literal conversation between two entities within. And I mean, for the life of me, I will never be able to understand, I mean, like, naturally, you know, on my own, how that actually works. I mean, that's why I'm in the class. But anyway, I'll stop there. But completely fascinated, Mary Lee. You know?
Cool. Yeah. So there, you know, it is all a part of us. It's not like there's two of us, but our higher self does hold that wisdom. And, you know, in a way, we do get separated from that part of us. And so I always think of it up there as patiently tapping its toe, waiting for me to catch up, right? Waiting for me to connection, you know. So it's that part of you talking to you and saying, you know, come on, let's go play. You know, come on up here and get on the playground with me. And, you know, and we're busy, you know, down here on the physical trying to, you know,
Right.
being distracted, I guess. So,
True. True. Very true.
yeah, that's a great description. Don, did you get an empowerment symbol? Or what was your experience?
Um, I'm going through some weird changes in my life right now, and I had a stroke like a month and a half ago,
Yeah,
which
that's
rearranged a lot of things for me. And although it was pretty benign, I mean, I haven't lost any functionality that I'm aware of. I've gained some functionality in a sense. I have a tingling left side that I can't get rid of right now. So, but I did find a place. I mean, there is a place where I can retreat to, sort of. And I mean, my mind is going through, my brain is going through a lot of rewiring right now. I think because I'm learning to deal with the effects of this stroke, as well as continuing on living life. So, yeah, I did get a symbol of like a ball of light that I carry around with me that I've used when I was doing yoga heavily. Had the same sort of thing going on. So I got to remember to get back to that space more often. I'm not doing it enough lately.
Yeah, especially after a stroke. If you, you know, use this replay, or I have a lot of videos on YouTube, and you can go there and do a lot of the meditations and on your own. I know you do meditation, yoga, and all that on your own too. But I bet you that would really help the recovery from the stroke and the rewiring to happen. And why not direct it? Why not direct the rewiring to be better than ever, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's
Yeah.
good.
Be proactive in that healing. I think that would be so powerful for you.
Yeah. Okay.
And now that you're in COVID confinement, what better time?
Nothing else to do. Yeah.
There are no done.
Oh,
We are past the excuse stage.
yeah, really.
Yeah, great. Well, do either of you have any questions about anything? I know you know, Patrick's in the course and Don has taken the course, but do you have any questions about anything that I can answer for you? Maybe I should narrow that down a little bit, or we'll be here all day.
I do have a question for you. Like, is
Okay.
there any sort of other than doing it, right? Like meditation, you know, is probably the best practice, right? To enhance that entire experience. But what would you recommend as like exercises in addition to meditation and, you know, practicing the techniques, you know, in your course? What would you recommend?
Well, I mean, that's a huge body of work right there. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, as far as it depends on what the goal is. So if, you know, outside of the things, although I have taught EFT, I don't know if it's on one of my teachables. I'll have to create another course for that. But, you know, the one thing I do use is if I feel there's a block or an anxiety or, you know, anything that's keeping me from being in that great state, I'll do the EFT tapping. So.
Okay, EFT, the rub, the find the point on your chest, that sort of thing, the tapping.
Well, yeah, there's tapping. Everybody's got kind of their different routine. I've scaled it down to about 10 spots that, you know, are easy to remember, and you just go round and round. So you're inspiring me. I can maybe, you know, create a course for that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And I'm glad you mentioned what you mentioned, because that's what I use to, you know, to have gotten here, you know, even And it's seems to be the best way, you know, for me at least. If I go into meditation or like yoga, it'll turn into a trance, right? Especially with the right conditions, you know, like with music, things of that nature. And it's just a lovely state to be in, you know. I mean, it really is just like, and I'm new to this, right? I mean, within the last 2 or 3 years, I've just really gotten into this. I mean, I sort of discovered it on my own, right? Just at my house,
Oh,
sort of out of desperation. But that's why I was asking the question, because sometimes, you know, if I close my eyes, I mean, I see back screen of my eyelids, right, at first, and then some colors and things like that. And sometimes the images are very, very vivid. Sometimes the messages are very vivid, like whatever the sense. Sometimes it's a felt sense.
mhm.
And I'll have to ask you this one last question, and then I'll stop for today. But during the QHHT um, past life regressions, if I went through a past life, and you know, some of them were horrific with horrific endings, I would literally wake up with like a like a mark, like
Mark,
it had
yeah.
happened. Like, I mean, all this stuff's happening, and so I'm just like trying to make sense of it, Mary Lee. You know, like I'm just trying to make sense out of everything because it's
It's
so new.
it's the big quest. Yeah. There's a lot to this universe that is never discussed and, you know, still unfolding in our available knowledge. And so, but yeah,
Hmm.
the you know, the appearance of markings, people have birthmarks from past life injuries, they have chronic pain, obviously addiction issues, you know, there's so many connections. But yeah, the physical appearance of those things is always very fascinating. But our subconscious mind wants desperately to communicate with us and to indicate where we need to do our work. And so, you
Yeah.
know, things may show up in our daily life, or it may show up on our body or in our health or whatever,
Hmm.
to give us that wake up call. So, um, yeah, very interesting. I
Yeah,
don't know
it
if you
really
answered
is.
the question, but we'll go over more of that in the course too.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Mary Lee.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the course starts September 26th with the calls, but like Patrick, people are already studying and reading in advance. We've had some emails that have already gone out. We're going to do some impromptu little trainings in advance and throughout, in addition to the 8 formalized calls that happen with the course. Um, so sign up. We've got only 3 spots left. So that course is really filling up. So anyway, oh, I forgot to put so if you want to find out about the course, the easiest way now is to Google my website, maryleelabay.com, MaryLeelabay.com, and look for courses, and you'll see what's going on. Or just text me at 425-562-7277, and we'll set up a call and we can discuss it. So thank you both for being here today. This has been super fun, and we will see you soon. And heal well, Don. You know, get well.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I know you are.
Well done.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty.
Nice to
Bye-bye.
meet you. Take care. Have a great week.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.